Hello friends, we are now moving into part 2 of stitching this together, and now I am moving into the unknown, truly. I have watched hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos, and I have searched and searched and searched, and I have not found anyone who is doing what I want to do. So not only, well, yeah. So I am trying something very new. So what I want to do, I have already decorated, so I've already made the signatures. I've already decorated them. They're full of photos and little stories here and there and flippy pages and all of that. It's virtually done. So now we're going to stitch done pages in. Okay, so I've saved these. My only problem is that I don't quite know how to do this unless I just kind of wing it, is really what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Because these don't line up. Because there's this last one. There's a couple of these are fatter. So they do fit in here. So maybe I will kind of put this up like this. I think this is what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to push these forward. I'm going to use a Sharpie pen. I have found that I need something that I can see. So then I will draw a line. Should I turn this around? Probably. I don't really want to do the Sharpie pen on this side. Maybe just a pencil. Maybe. I'm going to spend a minute and think. Okay, so what I did. So this first one is thicker than the others, which is fine. It is what it is. So I've got a mess here right now. So I'm going to use my dots and make my marks. And then I drew the lines. So I'm going to punch my holes here first. And then I will punch them on these lines. You know, this is my first time. I am winging it, like I said, and we will see how this turns out. I think it's going to be fine. Because you got to punch your holes, and then mark your holes, and then punch them in here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start with this first line. It's this line right here. I figured out exactly where I want it. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this line go all the way up to the top so I can see it better. Okay, so it's aligned at the top. It's aligned at the bottom. Now, if I wanted to make a whole new template, I could, but I'm not going to. Just because each one of, I would have to make a new template each time I did one of these because the size of the different signatures is different. Step 1, you have an awl. If you have followed Kate Mower or Mower, I'm not sure exactly how she pronounces her name. She insists on using an awl. I don't think she's actively on YouTube anymore, but her videos are still there. And she is my go-to when I get started doing one of these. I review her video on how to do this. So this is the first one. Now what she normally does, and what I would do if I was stitching without what I'm actually doing, then I would go through and do all of these. But I'm not going to, because these are not all lined up right. But I am gonna take my Sharpie. I learned this after the very first one. I want to know where my holes are. This will not show. It's hidden by the signatures, but it saves my life. I'm telling you what, it saves my life. So now we're gonna go, still gonna have top. Guess I'll use the second one since this is the second one, but I want to line these lines up so that, and I'm gonna clip it back on. And I'm gonna be going through this step of taking it off and lining up the lines and punching the holes. I'm gonna be going through this step, well, 3 more times, right? All right. Now, if you noticed, I went and had to feel for one of these because I couldn't see it. And that is why I use the Sharpie pen. So the next thing I'm going to do is make sure that all of my pages are facing the right way. Just to make stitching a little easier, I'm going to take the little booklet out. Make sure they're all facing the right way and that I know where I am stitching. That's important. So I'm stitching here, but I'm not stitching through these guys. But I am stitching through this one. And this one. Okay. So I'm going to put my binder clips back on. I have seen some people have like padded stuff for their binder clips, which, you know, I certainly am not opposed to. I think you should do whatever makes you happy. I'll put this back up at the top. All right, I'm gonna get one more binder clip out. Here they are. decided to use the going off my table to help me line these up. Too high. There we go. Now I'm going to go off the table again. I'm sorry you can't see, but it just makes it easier to put my binder clips on. All right. All right, so I have my favorite needle and I have my favorite thread. I got this on Amazon. It's waxed. I think you just put in waxed bookbinding thread. And I have seen all kinds of different bookbinding threads. Some is really, really nice and some is really, really not. Okay, so showing this is a little more challenging and I need to even see where I'm at. Okay, so I need to come through here and see why I have the little black hole there so I can see it. I need to get my needle through there and then it comes out the back. Okay, so now, and the first one is always the hardest. And I already need to see where the hole is. I can feel it. Again, this is why I have the black on the back. I don't want it on the front though. I don't want it to mess with the way the spine looks. Okay. Now in again. So I'm going to push this one through. Then I find my black hole and get my needle into it and then pull it out. Okay. Now you can see that this is nice and tight and this is nice and tight. And now I'm just going to push all the way through. Okay. We're going to skip this one here and go into this one here. Once again, I am going to go in here and then, whoops, go in there and then look for the black hole. I don't know, I think you can see that. Now, if this was all paper, it's not nearly as necessary to have that black hole. But since I've got fabric on my spine, the fabric kind of is self-healing. And that causes a little bit of trouble. So this one should be easy. Yep, goes right in. And then in through the middle. And made its own little hole. These have to be straddling. And then you tie it a couple times. I'm going to do it a third time just because I like to. Okay. These particular little snips, they're fabric, and they're for fabric only. And I will kill anyone who uses them on paper. That's all. So the first signature is in, and done. You know, it's heavy. It's kind of funny. But once again, I have already done, like, this has multiple fancies on it, and just making sure I know that I have a center, which is here. Okay, so this was the second one. So the first thing I'm going to do with this second one is clip it so I can punch it. And I'm going to put music on. Let's see. And I am going to use then the second hole for this one. I was having a hard time finding this hole, so I put my awl in there so I can find it. Okay, so I don't feel like I explained this very well. So let me just kind of go over this. So when you are making your stitches, the very first one you make, and you make it from the inside, you go in the center hole. Then you pull it out, and you're going to go one up, okay, to the very next hole. And then you'll go one up, and you'll bring it out this way. Then you're going to go back in this hole and bring it in. Now you're going to skip the center hole and go down one. And then you're gonna bring it out. You're gonna go one more down and bring it in. And then you're gonna go back into this hole, bring it out, and then you're gonna come in that center hole. And you need to, so you have this string that's going across, and you need to have your thread straddling it. So one thread is going, let's call this north, and one thread is going to go south, and you're straddling the thread in the center, and then you make your knot. So, and then the spine looks like this. And I'm actually really happy with how it came out. Okay, so I am done, and I did check. Let me go out so you can see this. I did check and make sure that everything's facing the right way, because if it wasn't, I would cry really, really hard. But yeah, it's all in there. It's all good. I did struggle a little bit with, especially with the second one. For some reason, that one was challenging. I did learn a new, I just figured it out, but a new technique of, if I'm struggling, then I put the awl through the hole, and then I can line my needle up with it, and then as I'm pulling the awl out, the the needle will come with it, and that helped. Twice I split my thread, and that's like when you're coming through with your needle, you literally split the other thread, and that messes everything up. One time I was able to fix it, the other time I just had to cut it apart and start over again. But just for that one thing. I do find the 5-hole pamphlet stitch to be challenging. I have done hundreds, literally hundreds of 3-hole pamphlet stitches, and I don't know why I don't just do it on here, but I feel like it needs to be the 5-hole, you know. In maneuvering it, I ended up, this came apart, and so it's still drying. And so I used red line tape, which is like cement, and I used my PVA glue, which is also really good at holding. It's meant for bookbinding. So, but anyway, the binding looks good. The only thing I need to do before I do my whole flip through is what I'm going to dangle on the side. Otherwise, we are done. And I am a happy girl. Yay! So if you enjoyed this, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!